So before we jump into the Easter eggs and secrets in this video, I want to ask you guys real quick to check out my Lore Explain series, which has 2 episodes already posted about Steven and of course about Jesse and James. Please give it a look, it's pretty awesome and I would love to have your thoughts and opinions on it. Please check it out, links down below. Either way, secrets and Easter eggs, those are fun, right? Well, that's what we are doing here today. It's time to have a look at some of those secrets and Easter eggs in Pokemon FireRed and Pokemon Leaf Green that you most likely haven't really paid a lot of attention to. Well, let's jump right into it, shall we? Let's take a look at the Easter eggs and secrets in Pokemon FireRed Leaf Green that you may have missed. So the first Easter egg and secret is coming to us specifically in regards to Lorelei. Now Lorelei is one of the Elite Four from Pokemon FireRed and Pokemon Leaf Green, and she's always held a position of being seen as a quite powerful character, right? You're having a lot of power behind her and strength, and you also have something else about her though. I mean, she's a woman at the end of the day with other needs and simpler kind of like things in life that she appreciates, and one of these is, for example, Pokemon dolls. See, Lorelei actually has a home at the 4 Island, which is an island in the post-game of Pokemon FireRed and Leaf Green. And in this home, there is something interesting. There are these Pokemon dolls. She collects Pokemon dolls in her home, and there's another Easter egg on top of her collecting these, which is that every time you defeat her, or basically every 25th time you defeat Lorelei, she will add a whole new doll to her collection, which will max out at about 8 Pokemon dolls. This will cause you to need to get your hands on about 175 victories in the Elite Four and entering the Hall of Fame basically that amount of times to actually get to see every single doll that she adds to her little, like, you know, house and stuff, which is pretty awesome of a little Easter egg and just a random little secret that I think is worthwhile mentioning. Next is a developer Easter egg that is hidden in Celadon, so let's explain it. So in Celadon City, you can find the Celadon Mansion, which has several floors where people live at, right? Different floors, different apartments, etc. Now, if you get to the 2nd floor, you will find a room with loads of computers and characters, and this is actually the Game Freak development room. And when talking to one of the characters here, he will point out that he created you. I mean, there are other guys talking about other things, but this guy specifically says he created you. Now, not the player, but the actual character you play as the player, which is, you know, Trainer Red in this case. And he also points out that he created the graphics for the game. So it's a pretty awesome little Easter egg. It's kind of random, but again, this is something the Game Freak tends to do. They love adding in these kind of, you know, their offices, like the Game Freak office, into the games. They've done it pretty much in most of their games. So it's a pretty cool little Easter egg, and I think it's pretty awesome. So next is the earliest Easter egg you can find when starting Pokemon FireRed and Pokemon Leaf Green. Now this is an Easter egg that happens in the player's home, and this is a common thing within Pokemon games. That usually in your bedroom or your home, you will find little Easter eggs and things you may have not noticed before. Now, Game Freak always loved doing these, and in FireRed Leaf Green, it's kind of a bit different though. See, if you go downstairs, you've actually got a TV in your living room, and if you interact with the TV, it will actually give you some interesting information. Now, if you're playing as the male character, aka Trainer Red, for example, then the movie being played on the TV involves essentially 4 boys walking on a railroad track, which is possibly a reference to the film Stand By Me. And if you're playing as the female character, which is essentially the equivalent to Leaf, well, the movie that is on the screen, or on the TV rather, is about a girl in pigtail walking down a brick road, and that's basically what's playing on the TV. And this could be a reference to the movie The Wizard of Oz. So again, kind of a strange one, kind of a random one, but it's pretty awesome that they add these little things in there. And hey, all the TVs and stuff tend to have random things running on them, so maybe it's another connection to our real life world, so to say, into the Pokemon world. Next is another pretty awesome, actually real-life reference that you can find in Pewter City. So this one is pretty awesome. Now, if you head over to where the Pewter City Museum is located, it actually hosts like many fossils and bones from Pokemon of long past times. But if you head inside, you can find an old man NPC that should be on about the 1st floor, right? Not like the bottom floor, but the 1st floor once you go upstairs. And he will be in the, you know, space exhibition area. Now, this old man, if you talk to him, will give you a little bit of a history lesson about 1969 and July the 20th being the day that mankind first stepped on the moon. And well, this is a clear reference to the real life equivalent of when the United States sent up astronauts to the moon for the first time. And hey, it's pretty awesome. Basically, it's a cool little Easter egg that connects again to our real life world, the same way that, you know, the movie references connect within the TV that you find at your home in the game. So it's a cool little thing, it's a cool little connection, and I love these because they just expand the world of Pokemon, and it gives us like a bigger connection to this world itself. Next, we have the Hidden Pattern Bush. in Pokemon FireRed and Leaf Green. This is an area in the games that you'll find in the post-game that is honestly very hidden, so it's not something that's apparent to you at first. But when you get to the 6th island, which again is in the post-game and is part of the Sevi Islands and those sort of stuff, right, you can find this place that is really strange, the Pattern Bush. You will see loads of trainers in this area. It's a bushy field with loads of grass everywhere, but the coolest part of this field isn't that it's just a bunch of randomly assembled bushes and grass and stuff. No, the interesting part is that they aren't random. Those are actually organized bushes, and it's a specific design that is made to look like the actual circuit board of the original Pokemon Red and Blue Generation 1 video games. And honestly, that freaking amazes me. The fact that they went through the effort of actually like trying to recreate that using, you know, the grass and stuff, and then also using the NPCs in specific positions is pretty freaking awesome, because the NPCs would, I guess, be like the screws you'd put into like the circuit board. So I don't know, man, but it's a freaking awesome little Easter egg, and I think it's definitely cool to see that Game Freak used to do this, and hey, I like that. It's pretty awesome. Next is less of an Easter egg, but more of a secret that is kind of messed up, actually. See, if you play Pokemon FireRed and Leaf Green on an emulator, or if you have pirated the game, it might actually detect that you are doing this. Now, it's not always the case that whatever the game that will actually detect that you are playing on a pirated version or an emulator. But if this is the case, if you do actually do that, well, whenever you speak to the guy at the Vermilion docks before you enter the SSN, he will give you quite an ominous and somewhat extremely rude message. See, he will literally say, "By the way, if you like this game, buy it or die." So yeah, I mean, funny in one way, but also kind of messed up when you think about it. Though, like, honestly, think about this, right? I do wonder who wrote this, because it is a little bit extreme to literally tell the player, even if they, did technically get it in other means than buying it, it's a little extreme to tell that person to die. I mean, it's a video game, it's not the end of the world, right? But they went the extreme way with it, so I'm really curious to know which one of the translators actually did this, like who actually went into this with this very aggressive tone. I just want to know, because it's kind of goofy and funny in one way, but at the same time, kind of strange to see in a children's video game, but hey, who knows? Next, we have ourselves a pretty awesome little secret, and this one comes from the Team Rocket warehouse. So when you're inside of the warehouse, which is on the 5 Island, you need to use 2 different passwords to actually get inside the warehouse itself. And there is something strange about the passwords within this place. Now, the first one is basically Goldeen need log, and that's the first one. Now, the second one is yes, nah, Chansey. Now, while you might not notice it at first, but that becomes far more apparent when somebody tells it to you, is that if you read the names backwards, they're exactly the same, or the passwords rather. If you read them backwards, they're exactly the same. So yeah, the passwords are basically palindromes that can be read the same way back and forth, which to me is pretty freaking fantastic and cool. It's a random little secret, but I do really like it though. I think it's interesting they would add something like this in there, and that they would just do the effort of making a palindrome specifically for passwords in a post-game part of the game, which possibly a lot of people will not even like check out or go to because, well, they maybe just didn't think about it, right? So hey, pretty awesome. I do like that. And I just want to include this one at the end because it's just kind of fun to include it. Now, most of you already know this, but you can actually go and, of course, catch Mewtwo in these games. Now, back in the day, that was less of a known thing, right? Like, I mean, you knew it at the point of FireRed releasing because maybe you'd done the same thing, in, well, the previous games, Red and Blue, right? When you first time played through the Generation 1 games. But what a lot of people didn't really know is that you could go and catch Mewtwo, right? And there is also, of course, still that Mew truck, right? The Mew truck is still in the game. They still left that in there. And it's kind of like a little Easter egg fun thing for you to check out. But of course, there is no Mew there, but it's still there though. The car is still there, and it still makes no sense why that truck is in that area where it can't go off of it. It's just stuck on this literal island, which it can't do anything on. But again, they left those in there, and of course, they had Mewtwo for you to catch once more, and I just thought, hey, let's end it off with one of, the most legendary Pokemon of all time, and one of the most awesome mythicals of all time, Mew and Mewtwo. So, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys did enjoy. So, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you did enjoy, then drop a like down below and make sure to subscribe for future videos relating to all things Pokemon secrets, Easter eggs, even side quests and all those things, because you'll get more of that very, very soon. And also, one final thing I want to really just quickly mention is, please check out my Lore Explain series. This is something I've done 2 episodes on. The next episode is coming very soon on another character, so please check those out. Check it out, just see what they're like and if you enjoy them, so you can be ready for the next episode. So thank you so much for watching. Have yourselves a great day, and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.